Welcome back to my 100% playthrough of the Wayfarer for Heretic on the Thou Art a Smite-Meister difficulty, played through GZDoom. We are doing all levels with a 1 star, and this is E1M4, Colosseum. Let's begin. So immediately you'll be greeted by a Might of Tysonius pickup. If you haven't seen my last video, I'll demonstrate what it does in a little bit. Because once you grab it, the screen turns red, you switch to the staff, and of course, you do a lot of damage with the staff now. And that is very useful when fighting against Saber Claws. Even the base staff had its uses against Saber Claws, but as it is with the Wayfarer, with the Might of Tysonius, it is really good against Saber Claws. And you can use it to save ammo that you can use to fight the Iron Lich with. And now that he's dead, we can grab these Time Bombs of the Ancients. I mean, you can use them on the Saber Claws or the Iron Lich if you want to try that, but it's a little bit risky for the Iron Lich in particular. But anyways, you can use a staff to kill the Undead Warriors if you're feeling risky. Usually you'll take them down in 2 hits, but sometimes you'll be able to hit them down in 1. But we can go into here and clear out these guys, because there's lots of Saber Claws in this map, just so you can use that staff to its best extent, really. There are also Were-Dragons. I would not recommend using the staff on them unless you're doing a Tyson run. Speaking of Tyson, remember the name of this artifact? Yeah, you can take a wild guess of why it's named that. Might of Tysonius. But anyways, yeah. There are lots of Saber Claws here, but there are also Were-Dragons in the mix to give you a little bit of hassle. There are Golems too, but they aren't as big of a hassle as the Were-Dragons, quite honestly. Now, one thing you can do with the Time Bomb is like drive-by Time Bomb them to get that splash going on. And I'm just gonna kill you with the staff because I can. You too. Yes, perfect. So now let's go into here and clear out these guys. You can place some Time Bombs right here to kill these Nitro Golems, because they're in the cage. And yeah, I'm gonna use the crossbow since I'm not doing a Tyson run. It's possible to do Tyson runs on these kinds of maps though, but it gets a little tricky later on, and I'll show you why. And it's not just because of the Were-Dragons and the Ophidians, as you can see over there. No. That's only one part of why it's so tricky. But anyways, we'll grab some stuff here. And we're just going to clear out this area. This like storage area, the storage slash armory place before we clean the rest of the place up. We'll grab a Quartz Blast there. We'll press that switch later, but for now we're just mowing these guys down. Alright, so the Ophidians are down here too, and I believe they come from these areas up here, which lower when you cross from here to out here. I believe there's a line depth there somewhere. But anyways, we're just gonna mow down this ghostly undead warrior with the wand, because the the staff isn't gonna work on him at all, and the crossbow doesn't work as well as him as it would otherwise. I got hit quite nastily by these Ophidians, but there are plenty of Quartz Flasks here, and not only that, there are Crystal Vials too that you can grab. And just keep religiously using the staff on these Saber Claws and whatnot. I mean, you can use the crossbow too, because there's quite a bit of ammo for it, but let's be honest, the staff is much more satisfying to use. But anyways, you might have heard another undead warrior. He is up there. We'll deal with him in a little bit. And since splash damage still works on ghost enemies, let's plant some bombs there. Except closer. There we go. That's more like it. There are some gauntlets of the Necromancer here that you can pick up, but to be quite honest, I don't use them too much in this map myself, because the staff is much more useful now that it has the Might of Tysonius power up. And the only real reason to use the gauntlets is for the life leech. But sometimes you can get some good stun locks out of it, but there are lots of Saber Claws in this level, so yeah. So we press that switch and it leads to there, but we're not going to go there just yet. We're going to go all the way over here to use this torch to lower this wall. And this wall will lead you to a secret with 3 morphobums and a way you can get up these crates. And what you want to do is run across that set of crates there. A little tricky, but that's not the trickiest part of this map. No, you gotta get on this crate, this little tiny crate next to the big crate, or a slightly bigger crate, and aim over there and shoot that button. Yeah, it's a little tricky, but not as... Yeah, it's actually one of the trickiest things in the level, but it leads to another secret, so it's worth it. You want to climb up this thing of crates so you can grab more time bombs, and if you're careful, you can jump down here. Well, not jump, because there's no jumping in here. You can grab the quartz blast, though, by just landing there. It's very tricky, but whatever. We'll go through the portal and go over here. To press that switch, it lowers a set of pillars over there. I'll show you where you can get to there later, but for now we're just going all the way back to here. Yeah, I'd say this level is a bit tricky, but compared to that little trick we did in the E1M4 video, yeah, nowhere as tricky as that. But anyways, that's not the only secret in this area. Use this, and you'll be able to go through here and go through this portal. And when you go through this portal, this place looks familiar, doesn't it? And hey, look, a mystic urn, let's grab that. And look at those pillars, those were the ones we just lowered, so let's go into here and grab this secret with a hell staff, bag of holding, and a bunch of greater runes. Perfect. So, now we got everything in this area. We can now go over here and go into this area and meet all these saber claws. Now, you could try thwacking them. You can thwack some of the golems too. Sometimes it might not turn out so great, but you never know. Now, the Ophidians up on the little pillars there might give you some trouble. You can press the switch to lower the pillar things, and you could just kill them while they're on the floor. Now, depending on your point of view, this could either make the map easier or harder, because on one side the Ophidians are in one place, but they're also on a higher ground whenever they're on the pillars that are raised up. But yeah, when they're on the lower ground, I like to view it as being easier, since hitting them on the higher ground is a bit harder, especially with projectile weapons. So we killed everything in this room, and we didn't even use the sigil of power. We'll probably use that in the upcoming battles, because let's be real, there are plenty of battles to be fought in this area. So when you go into here, you'll meet a few Ophidians. Quite a number of them, really. You can just chicken them, because yeah, they are really tanky, and I'm tired of their tankiness. And when you go into here, this whole shebang happens with all these were-dragons, so let's finally grab that tome, or rather sigil, and just start hammering away at them. Now you can use the morphobum on the were-dragons too, and just hammer away at the Ophidians if you want. But either way, you're gonna get some good mileage out of the sigil. You can also grab all these goodies here. Were-dragons might drop some arrows too. That's why I use the sigil on them instead of the Ophidians, because it's a solid investment. Anyways, when you go into here, a bunch of ghost warriors and golems will appear, so just hammer them down with the hell staff. Or if you're doing a Tyson run, use the gauntlets, but that's really risky. But anyways, there are some gargoyles too, and the hell staff can work on them sometimes. Now, some people don't like the homing that was added to the hell staff, but sometimes it can be really good, because there are lots of wide open spaces here in these maps, for real. Like, you don't want to use it when enemies are hiding on pillars, like those Ophidians that were there earlier. Instead, you want to use it in areas like this, if you want to use the hell staff at all, really. Alright, so we got some arrows here. We got some time bombs and whatnot. You can look around for any more. And when you're ready, you want to go through here. You probably want to get the time bombs ready and use them right now to kill this fella and this fella. Now, the humanoid fella is a serpent keeper. And of course, you probably are familiar with a chaos serpent. Yeah, these are two new enemies introduced simultaneously. And the Serpent Keeper is kind of like a quick melee enemy that does a lot of damage, so you don't want them anywhere near you. Now, you could probably use one of the morphomes on them because, yes, they are morphable. Those Chaos Serpents, however, are not, so keep that in mind. Anyways, we got some stuff into this area. Like some quartz flasks and crystal vials, good to have. We'll go up here now and wait for it. Oh, of course. There we go. Alright, let's use the morph-ovum on these guys since, you know, we want to chicken them. We'll just use the Hell Staff to clear out some of these other enemies here, because there are still a lot of them. And this is a good time to spam that. You can also try spamming the time bombs if you want. Also a good opportunity. Just place them right in front of the enemies that are more prone to doing melee than anything else. Like, you can use it on the nitro bombs too, but sometimes they'll attack you with the projectile attacks, but not as frequently as, say, the were-dragons and the undead warriors, so it's not a bad investment to use the time bombs on them. But ideally you want to just spam the Hell Staff in combination with that if you're doing that with the time bomb. Plenty of time bombs lying around, so you can just use that as you will, really. And also, there's a Phoenix Rod here, and some Flame Orbs. Now, one thing that is different, I probably mentioned this in the other video, Ophidians that drop Flame Orbs only drop one Flame Orb, as opposed to the vanilla game 5 to 7. So yeah, Phoenix Rod ammo is a bit harder to come by. But it's no big deal, because when you go over here, now granted there will be a lot of enemies here, but you can just run back out and probably fire away at a distance. And you know what? I think we're going to save the rest of that for this Chaos Serpent, because yeah, these guys are tanky. They're not as tanky as the serpent that the Sparrow rode, but they're not as weak as the ones from Hexen. But they're still, they're like in between, so it's kind of like a mini-boss, like a Baron of Hell mixed with a Mancubus, because the Mancubus projectiles are not too dissimilar to the ones the Chaos Serpent fires, at least in this game. But anyways, use this wall, and you'll be able to open this wall up, which leads to the secret, and this teleporter will just take you back to the main area right here. Now while you're in this main area, look out for this brick right here. Take it, then use it over here, and you'll lower this area, which will take you to the last secret with a map scroll. And now you can see the whole map. And as you can see, we explored pretty much all of it, but there's only one area left that we need to go to. And we can access that by pressing this button here. And we can go down here, but let's grab the Sigil of Power first and use the crossbow, because yeah, a lot of enemies come in, including those Serpent Keepers. Let's chicken at least one of them and fire away at the rest. Or, well, there's only two, but still. Yeah, the Serpent Keepers are really great for chickening, really, because they have a lot of health, they do a lot of damage, and when you chicken them, they go down really easy. Anyways, here's an Iron Lich. You can just run past them, no big deal. Press that switch, you'll lure all the areas with the Ophidians, so they'll be on even grounds with you. They won't be firing up at you or anything. You just want to gun them down. Yeah, I used the crossbow and the golem there. It's no big deal. But I'm going to use the Phoenix Rod on this Iron Lich here since I have lots of ammo for it. And he dropped a lot of stuff, but it doesn't matter because when you go over here, this switch revealed, you can press it and it will lower the setup pillars here. And that's all the kills and all the secrets, so let's get out. So that was Colosseum. And compared to the last level, it's a bit shorter. But it was pretty fun nonetheless. There are some new enemies that we are introduced to simultaneously that we have to consider from now on whenever we're fighting in this level pack. So yeah, keep your eyes out for the Lesser Chaos Serpent and the Serpent Keepers, because they're gonna stick around throughout this pack. But anyways, we are done with this level. Stay tuned for the next one where we go into the Serpent Pens. But until then, toodaloo.